Well, I wanted to make a video about the oil on these old tractors. If you're subscribed, you can go way back a year or two ago. I did a video called 8N, a Ruined Motor. That title will take you there if you're not subscribed, where I go into details and I show in the shop what happens with these old tractors. Now, this old girl, the 48 8N, has what's called a bypass oil system, oil filtration system. For all intent and purposes, you may as well consider it has no filtration at all. And back in this old girl's days, the oil wasn't what it is today with its additives, detergents, anti-waxing properties, anti-foaming, blah, 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 all this, and multi-viscosity stuff. What you'll find in these old tractors is down in the crankcase there, like an inch of sludge. And if there's any way of washing that out, I have yet to find it. This is a replacement motor from another old 8N in Annie here, because I learned this the hard way. I changed the oil, cleaned out my filtration system. The oil would look like honey on the dipstick. I have a Ferguson TE20 in the shop there, this perennially never-ending project. I never managed to get it back together somehow. That residue will stick up in on the sidewalls of the motor and stuff. You've got to pull the oil pan off. I know it's a distasteful job. And get that sludge out of there. Oh, what I was going to say is on the TE20, the Ferguson, I actually ran the motor on diesel fuel and transmission fuel, which is high detergent, and thought I'd gotten the sludge out. Now, we move here to John's newer, I think this is a 1971 tractor. It has a modern filtration system. The oil goes through the oil filter before it goes into, where's our oil filter? Oh, there it is. Before it goes into the crucial mains on the crank and up into the cam and whatnot. And this tractor had sat when John bought it. It was a bit of a resurrection project. Who knows how long it had sat and how old the oil was in it. And John just went ahead, I mean, it's his tractor. He went ahead in front of me, changed the oil, and I said, well, John, you just don't know what's lying down that sludge in the bottom of that case. And he said, well, wherever the dipstick is here on this thing, well, the honey, the oil looks like honey. I said, yeah, but you have no idea what kind of sludge is lying down in there. And the new oils with their higher detergent, you get the tractor hot. There's nothing to say a piece of that snotty sludge can't come swimming up and get into your mains on the bottom of the crank before it ever gets to the filter system. John didn't want to hear all that. He'd already changed the oil. I said, well, look, drain the oil back into a clean container. And this is how you can check without pulling the pan off. There's our drain plug there. You can take a piece of mechanic's wire or a coat hanger or something, bend it and fish up in there. And if you see that sludge, it's a big, nasty, ugly job to drop that pan. But you don't have to break the tractor to do it. Nobody wants to do it. It's an ugly job, I admit. But you've got to check that. Otherwise, you can almost assume there is sludge. Tractors get left sitting for months, years, decades. And that sludge will settle and accumulate. And to trust your filtration system, it's no good. It's not going to work. When you change your oil, here's our dipstick. Well, it's a diesel. It's always going to be black. At the very least, you could take something, again, a piece of wire, fish down in there and see if you can scrape the bottom. Better yet, access it from the drain plug. I can't stress this enough. It cost me the engine on this old girl. See my video and you'll see what my TE20 motor looks like when it's apart with that sludge issue. So if you purchase an older tractor, you've got to check that. Do yourself a favor. Doesn't matter. And when I say an older tractor, even something from the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, you have no idea how long that tractor sat, with what kind of filthy oil lying in there that will sedimentate. Do yourself and the tractor a favor. Don't ignore that issue. I don't know how many fellow tractor owners I have tried to impress this upon them, but they pull out the dipstick and say, the oil looks like honey. You have no idea what lies in the bottom there. Again, do yourself, your wallet, and the poor old tractor a favor, and don't assume it's okay.